I just read on my Tumblr blog, along with Jeremy Paxman, that Newsight has new eyewitness information that I'm not telling the truth. My father is guilty of rapes, child murders, and satanic rituals in the United Kingdom, as well as high treason and aiding and abetting Al-Qaeda terrorism against the British Crown, MI5, 6, and CIS. During the time of the Troubles, there is new eyewitness evidence, and I want to just say for the record that it is true. I witnessed my mom and dad going to satanic meetings all throughout the United Kingdom. Jimmy Savile used to live in the Scottish Highlands, and the whole Scottish Rite has pedophile problems, at least the part that Jimmy Savile belonged in, and everybody knew, and everyone kept quiet about it. I was in his house. It was in the Scottish Highlands, I believe, Jeremy correctly, and it had black graffiti on the walls. They used to drug teenagers and rape them, and my dad was a part of that. One day, my dad took me to lunch somewhere in the United Kingdom, somewhere around or outside of London. There was a lake, and there were 3 chairs, and I was a little girl. I was on the way left, and there was a man across from me, and he invited my dad to a satanic ritual, and I said to my dad, quote, "Why do I have to go to a satanic ritual, Dad?" And he never gave me the answer. He drove there, and it was along the coast in an old church-like structure. I believe it was concrete on the outside, and inside it had church pews. And they laid like a 20-year-old girl on an altar, and the guy that did the ritual, I don't know whether it was Illuminati or Satanic, he wore a big red satanic mask over his head and white horns that looked like Neptune. They almost looked like the horns of a moose. And all the men in the ritual all took turns drugging the poor girl while she was drugged, and she screamed out for help, and they came all over her and ejaculated, or they all fucked her. And while I walked in the back of the church, my father made me sit there. And then at the end, the guy that was managing the head of the ritual with his satanic mask had sex with the girl. He came all over her, and then he took a big knife, like an athame you use in pagan rituals, and stabbed her in the heart, and she bled all over the place, at which time I think I fainted because I don't remember how I got back to the hotel. We used to stay at the Doubletree by MI5. Jeremy is right. I know Mr. Paxman. He always takes the moral and intelligently correct high ground, and he's doing the right thing here, because I do have Al-Qaeda information, and I want to give it to MI6. I'm not going to deal with the CIA after they've double-crossed me and after what they've done to me in this country, and that's their problem, how they're going to deal with it. You've ripped apart my life, and I won't deal with the CIA one bit. I'm not budging. Not even for a settlement at this point. You've done too much damage. It's just too bad. You didn't listen to me when Kosovo was working at the United Nations Bosnian mission. You didn't listen to DARKO. And then 9/11 happened, and he confessed, and you threw him out, person non grata, didn't you? The Al-Qaeda worker I worked with. I could give West Point lessons, but I'm not about to on Al-Qaeda terrorism. I know a lot of terrorists. My father brought me around the world, including Tora Bora. The CIA doesn't have to confirm and deny it. It's fact. Now, my father also took me to satanic meetings in which they would kill children, and they would have what he called a daisy chain of my mother. She was blonde at the time. My mother, and there would be a man, a female, a man in a circle, and they would be giving each other oral sex. And then my father would bury a child's body for Jimmy Savile, and he would pay off Scotland Yard to write off in the newspapers as a satanic cult murder that nobody knows who it was, and everybody complied with my father. And that's not all he's done. He used to go into schools, in reform schools in England too, and him and Jimmy Savile used to sodomize little boys in front of me. I have a lot to say, and I really want to do it in Newsight at London, where I feel safe, because I don't feel comfortable here. I don't feel comfortable talking to anyone in the United States. I don't want to talk to any false flags or any foreigners acting and pertaining to their own countries, or for the CIA under a false flag. I know we speak. I want to be safe MI6 on British soil, and I'll reveal all this Al-Qaeda information, and then MI6 can decide how much of it they want to share with the United States, since the United States is looking at between anywhere between 5 and 12 nuclear power and electrical power, nuclear power plants blowing up. My father, I know me tell me I can't recognize my father planting terror cells with terrorists and poisoning water in front of me and dead fish popping up in front of my eyes. No, I think that's beyond belief at this point. My memory goes back to 2 or 1.5. Mr. Paxman and other people at the BBC, like Janice Long, can confirm this, and this is really serious. The United States has really alienated me, and I refuse to talk with anyone in the United States about these terror cells, and they're real. I want to talk to Jeremy because I trust him and he treated me like a father figure. I don't want to talk to anybody else, to be honest with you. I'm not talking to a news reporter. I'm not talking to anybody. I'm not talking to Home Security. I will not talk to anyone until I see a friendly face that took care of me when I was little at the BBC that I trust, like Janice Long. I don't care how long it's been. I want to see Jeremy. I want to see some people that I can put my trust in and that I feel comfortable with. And I don't feel comfortable with anybody around here in America after this.